Mike Evans, who was wide receiver number 8 last year, 74 receptions, 114 targets, 1,035 yards, 14 touchdowns, a 15.94% of the target share. Thoughts on Mike Evans?
Those are amazing stats,
Mm-hmm.
right? For a guy that has just under 16% of the target share, to have 14 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards and finish as wide receiver 8. Like, wow. I think that actually improves slightly this year, and maybe not a ton, but I do think slightly. What he might regress a little bit on touchdowns, I think he makes up for in receptions and some yardage there. So I think he does still finish inside the top 10 for wide receivers. I think he's currently being drafted just outside of that, if I'm not mistaken.
He's going wide receiver number 9 off the
9,
board right
okay.
now.
So right there at that edge, I think you get fair value there. I do. I think you get fair value at 9. You might have a little bit of cushion for some ceiling, but realistically, I think his floor might be like 13. Like, so if you're drafting him, I think he has a pretty safe floor. Tom Brady obviously trusts him, especially around the end or the red zone. He knows that Evans is a big-bodied receiver. He loves to compete and battle for the ball. It's, can his hamstrings hold up? Right, that's been the thing. Like, can Evans get through the season without his hamstrings flaring up?
Like we already said, Mike Evans coming off the board, wide receiver number 9 overall, 25th off the board. And there's lots of things to be said about this, right? Normally we'd be sitting there going, pump the brakes on a guy that only saw about 16% of the target share. But yeah, that's held true for Mike Evans, right? He actually saw a slight increase in targets year over year from the previous year. We got about 5 more. So that's his role is fairly well cemented in Tampa Bay as far as how they're going to use him, how they're going to see him. And he is the guy that Tom Brady looks to when they get down inside the red zone. Healthy all year, I think that, you can easily mark him down for 12, 13, 14 touchdowns, and 1,000 yards and move along. So I absolutely love Mike Evans in fantasy this year and kind of where he's going and where you can pick him up. I like that because I've even been finding him, well into the 3rd round in a lot of cases here. So that he's coming off the board as a ADP 25th overall. I'll tell you, I've been finding him closer to a 36th overall pick in a lot of different drafts there. So sliding down the board on a few of these things, and I absolutely love it. So